Hello everyone, this is a teaser video for this coming Sunday, October 13th. Hopefully everyone, we're getting closer to Fall Family Weekend, so hopefully everyone has enjoyed the first two videos as we promote Fall Family Weekend. Remember, pre-register and prepay, and we'll get everyone set up and started and going for that. So the question I have for today is, have you ever been offended? And if you've been offended, how did you handle it? I think in today's world, today's society, people are very sensitive. People are overly offended. When I think about the stuff that we used to watch on TV when I was a kid or growing up, a lot of those shows, some of those movies wouldn't even be allowed to be made today because people are, instead of just taking things as humor and laughing on, they basically have meltdowns and whatnot. So what I want you to do is, just think about how you responded, and now think about how people handle situations in the church if someone offends them or bother them. We're going to look at Matthew chapter 18, verses 15 through 17. This is Matthew chapter 18, verses 15 through 17. And this is Jesus telling people how they should act if someone has sinned against them or offended them in any way. And as you read this, I'm sure a lot of you probably read this passage before, but as you read this, do you actually ever see this come to practice? Do you think this is common, how people react when someone sins against them in the church? And who's all, when you're looking at this passage, who is it pertaining to as far as the one being offended and the offender? There's certain criteria that needs to be met for this passage to come into play, and too many times Christians like to hold people that don't qualify this criteria accountable or use this way of trying to resolve conflict. Now, the whole purpose of this passage is to resolve a conflict. And every conflict in the church that you're trying to resolve, it's to bring the brother or sister back in line with their values. So as you, again, think about how you handled being offended or when somebody did you some wrong, reading this passage from Matthew, it kind of tells you how you're supposed to do it, or Jesus is telling you how you're supposed to handle it. But how is it mostly handled, and is it in line with what Jesus talked about? That's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about how the passage explains it should be handled. I'm going to talk about how it's normally handled, and we're going to see if they line up, if they don't line up. Until then, take care and be safe.